So if I have not answered your question, we wait until the end. I want to finish with a couple of slides. Please, okay. Uniform service. If you have a uniform service account and then and all the first employees, be nice to your spouse. Okay? Because your spouse, by law, your spouse is entitled to joint life annuity, 50% survival benefit, level payment, and no cash refund. So basically, the bottom line is your spouse is entitled to say yes or no when you want to loan or you want to withdraw your money from the TSP. So, do some nice chores, do a nice meal, bring your spouse for a nice breakfast before you go to credit union or the bank to get the notary signature. If they don't sign off, you can't touch your money. I'm sorry, this is the law, right? So they have to sign off before you can do that. So, CSRS, you do not need to have the notarized signature, but we will send notification anyway to your spouse that they will be notified, but you do not have to get their signature, all right? Do we have exceptions? Yes. But if the whereabouts of your spouse is unknown, you can file for the exception. But you got to have a very good reason because the legal department will look at it. And if you just write in, yeah, I took my spouse to Target two weeks ago. Cannot find her. Now that is not a good reason. I took my husband for fishing 2 weeks ago. I don't know where he is. Now that is not a good reason. Okay? All right? Okay. So if your account balance is less than 3,500, then you do not need a sponsor signature. Okay? All right. Now tax withholding. I'm going to answer your question a little bit further. Now, how will the money be withheld? You know, the federal tax withholding, and am I able to transfer those withdrawals outside to the eligible retirement plan? So then there are different types of money, right? So basically, if you are taking money out as a lump sum, for example, partial payment or 59.5 age phase, those lump sum payments, all right? So, or the final payout after a series of monthly payments, then you want a final payout. All those money, then they are eligible for transfer to eligible retirement plan. If you want to transfer that to traditional IRA or Roth IRA, you can do that. So, if you don't transfer, you just cash out, then there will be 20% mandatory federal tax withholding. If your monthly payment is enough for 10 years, then 120 times, then you can transfer those amounts every month to your designated IRA if you want to. And if you don't transfer, then 20% mandatory withholding. So, however, if your monthly payment can stretch for more than 10 years, then you cannot transfer because IRS wants you to pay tax on your taxable amount, right? So you have to cash out, you cannot transfer. So you can do a little bit of calculation to see, you know, how long will my money last. So then the withholding would be as if married with three, or you can also waive the withholding if you want to. Now, everybody will be different as if married with three because TSP will only look at your TSP distribution. We will not look at your other part of the income. So when we do the as if with three withholding, will be based on how much you have, right? So a lot of people, if they have other withholding that will take care of the tax liability, sometimes they just waive it so that they will know that, okay, I want $800, I'm getting $800, something like that. So if your monthly payment is based on life expectancy, then it's more than 10 years. Then again, you cannot transfer. You have to cash out, pay tax. So withholding will be as if married with three. Let's take a look at an example. I think I have an example. Yes, okay. Now, for example, you are taking monthly payment, and you're thinking about changing your monthly payment. You know, in October, you want to change your payment for next year. For example, I have somebody here. Before 2016, the opening balance is $105,000, saving $800 per month. So estimated estimated number of payment is 132. So it's more than 10 years, right? So more than 10 years, then this payment type is called periodic payment. So what is the withholding? As if Mary was free, or you can actually waive that. So because the 800 is so low, then basically there's no withholding in this case. So net payment 800. So I expect to take 800. Now I can see that I will actually get 800. So a year after, my account balance is down to $100. But I want more monthly payment. I want 850 instead of 800. Then I look at that. Oh, my estimated number of payment is now less than 10 years. So then that changed the federal withholding system. The amount is eligible for rollover if I want to move it out. I don't have to cash, but if I pick cash, then there will be 20%. Then 20% of that amount equals to 170. I won't see it because that is federal tax withholding. So when I get the check, it's only 680. Okay? So I'm expecting to get more, but since the nature of the payment has changed, now I get less money. Alright, so do some planning before you make a change. Alright, now if your money is eligible for rollover, so this is how it works. Assuming that you have two types of money in your TSP, right? When they come out, it will be pro rata. So for the eligible rollover distribution, the traditional money, you can move that to your traditional IRA, eligible employee plan, or Roth IRA. Say, for example, if you are still working and after your retirement with the federal system, you're a contractor, you have a 401k, if you want to move the TSP money into your active 401k, you can do that. It's just that you want to pay more expenses, right? Because TSP is the cheapest. You cannot get anything cheaper than that. So, for the Roth money, you can transfer that out to the Roth IRA or eligible Roth employer plan. Now, going back to the traditional, you can move those traditional money to traditional. You can also move those money to Roth IRA. You cannot move the Roth IRA money in, but you can move it out. Then in that case, what you need to do first? Pay tax. To change the tax character in the Roth, then let it continue to grow. Then what is a good reason why some people at some point of time want to move the money out to a Roth IRA? Because they want to let it continue to grow without taking required minimum distribution. Roth IRA does not have R&D requirement. So some people may want to do that at some point of time. Okay? So the rest of the money, it will be distributed as cash, then you will pay tax on those amounts that do not transfer. You still have the 60 days to change your mind. After 60 days, if you want to move it back to those plans, you can do that. But of course, you know that there will be tax withholding, right? So if you want to move that, if you want to turn the money into a non-taxable event, then you have to make whole of the federal tax withholding. Exception. Now, early withdrawal penalty, right? So the 10%. Generally speaking, if you take the money at 59.5, then this is an exception. If you retire at the age of 55 as a federal employee, this is also an exception. All right. Do we have any law enforcement here? Okay. Law enforcement. If you retire at 50 plus 20 years, so you actually retire from the law enforcement, then 50 years old with the 20 years, that is also another exception. All right. So for people who retired before 55 and they want to have the exception, how can they do that? They can, number one, TSP monthly payment based on life expectancy. Then this is an exception. Now remember, do you have a one-time opportunity to move back to fixed dollar? Yes, you do, right? Then if you are taking the TSP monthly payment based on life expectancy, you have to wait for at least 5 years of payment or 59.5, whichever is later. So, for example, if you retire at 53 and you start your life expectancy in 57 instead of 59.5, then 57, right? So 58, 59, 60, 61, 62. So 5 years, it will be 62. Then you have to wait until 62 before you make the change. Okay? Or you can do life annuity. Life annuity, you can't change anyway, so it's locked in. Or if you're undergoing a situation that, for example, you're going through a divorce, you have to pay for the divorce decree, then you're forced to take the money out of the TSP, then this is an exception, right? If we get a divorce decree, then there is no 10%. If you die, of course, yeah, that claim is an exception. So when your spouse receives your money through the beneficiary assistance account, this is also an exception. All right, or you have the deductible medical expenses that exceed 10% of your ATI. That's also an exception, and also received as a result of total disability, right? Disability. Or received by military reservists called to active duty for at least 180 days. That is also an exception. All right. So if you go to the TSP website, you can actually pull up. Shall we hold on to the question when I'm done? Okay, this is the last question. Death benefit. TSP3 is the only document that we will look at when we want to find out who can inherit the money. So we only look at TSP3. Whose name on it will get the money. All right. We don't look at prenup, will, or pre-separation agreement, none of those. Only TSP3. So a lot of people, they get someone great, right, in a marriage, every now and then. So maybe 30 years ago, they have their high school sweetheart, that's their 1.0. And then a few years later, they did an upgrade to 2.0. And then a few years later, 3.0. So by the time when they die, maybe they're with their 4.0, right? But guess what? They never go back and change the name on the TSP3. Who gets the money when he dies? You all know, 1.0, right? So if if you know of somebody who has a life-changing, circumstances, it's good to ask if that's your good guy. Hey, have you changed your TSP3, or you want to say it that way? Because sometimes people don't remember. All right, now, so if we have a TSP3, then it will go by TSP3. And if there is no TSP3, it will go by statutory order of precedent. So the first one on the list will be your spouse. Whether you are separated or not doesn't matter. As long as you are still legally married, your spouse will get 100%. If you do not have spouse, it will be divided by your children by representation. Biological children and also adopted children. If you have stepchildren, but you do not have a TSP3, then your stepchildren will not get your money because it will be your biological children and stepchildren. So 39, your parent. No parent, then it will be your estate. No estate, next of kin. All right. So if you have stepchildren and you want them to inherit your money, TSP3, they have to be on the TSP. All right. Okay. So how will we find out that somebody passed away? A concerned citizen has to send us the TSP-17, right? Yeah, actually, we over the years we receive a lot of TSP-17 because anyone can file a TSP-17 and the death certificate. They can get hold of the death certificate because I guess a lot of people will want to find out, am I the beneficiary of this big pot of money, right? So they send it, we take it because we want to start the process to look, number one, to see if there is any TSP3 on file. If there is, then that's the process. If there is no TSP3, then we'll go by statutory order of precedent. So if you want the money to go out fast, then TSP3 is fast, right? Because everything is laid down. Then statutory order of precedent, sometimes there may be complication that all of a sudden somebody pop up and say, I am actually the biological child of this person. Then we have to do some investigation and stuff like that. But once the claim is paid out already to the beneficiary, then if they have any legal struggle, they will have to take care of it themselves, right?
I have a question about that.
Yeah.
With regards to your beneficiaries.
Hold on. Sorry. So just out of curiosity, if you're divorced now and your spouse had adopted your child or another child,
Which spouse? The new spouse?
the new spouse did,
Adopted your...
adopted the child, the old spouse drops dead, does that child still get the opportunity to get into the beneficiary?
So who is your beneficiary of the form? That's the key thing.
I have absolutely no clue. I mean, that's what I just was
So
wondering
who
right
is
now.
the TSP participant?
It would be my ex-husband.
Okay.
And he's
so,
still alive, just so you all know that, okay? But no, so he had adopted a child of ours, but then her biological sperm donor is now dead. And he did have a part of that. So would she have any interest in that at all? Or would that just depend on?
Let's dissect it. It's a little complicated.
Yeah.
So, I want to make sure. So there is an ex-spouse. There is a current spouse. Who has the kid? With the ex-spouse or with the current spouse?
With the current.
With the current spouse. Okay, 1.0, 2.0, okay? 1.0 is the ex, 2.0 is the current. So the child is from you and the 2.0, right?
No, sorry, the child is from me and the one.
1.0.
Right.
1.0. So then, who is the TSP participant? 1.0.
Both of them are. Both of them are at this point in time, but the one, when the one kicks the bucket, since the second one adopted, would that child
So
still have?
1.0 is not here anymore?
Correct.
Okay. Then, what happens to that TSP money then? The beneficiary of 1.0 will take the money. If there is no money, then if he adopted, who adopted who? So then the question is 1.0 remarried?
No, he's dead.
He's dead. If 1.0 died with no TSP3, then the money will be paid out by statutory order of that. Right? Then if 2.0 die, if he doesn't have TSP3, you are the first one who will get the money. You're first in line. If you die, then it will be children by representation. So how many children do you have? 3. One is adopted, then 3 shares. If you have 3 kids, one is biological, one is adopted, one is a stepchild, not adopted, then the stepchild will not get the share. So the relationship would be who is the beneficiary, who is the TSP participant. Yeah, that's very important. So bottom line, give you an example. Say I have 2 sons, all right? If my 2 sons are my beneficiary on my TSP3, and number 1, number 2, they are supposed to get 50% each, okay? And then if my second son has 2 children, but if their names are not on the form, if number 2 passes away, what happens with that 50%? It will move to number 1. He gets 100%. Because my grandkids are not on the form as contingent beneficiary. But, hold on a minute. But if I do not have a TSP3, I still have these 2 sons. So, I don't have TSP3. So, and a second son has 2 kids. When second son dies, his 50% will not go to my first son. The 50% will go to his children. Would that make a better picture? Yeah? No? Somebody shake their head? Okay.
TSP3. Can you get that to that online?
Oh yeah, TSP3, you can download that, and in the past you need 2 witnesses, now you only need 1.
And then you can file it.
Got it. Now, if you do not remember who's on the TSP3, the better way is to just fill out a new form, send it to the TSP directly. When we receive the new form, it will supersede the old form. And if you call and ask, can I have a copy? Yeah, they will send you a copy, but I think the better way is to just fill out the new. Because sometimes, in some situations, you put your daughter as your beneficiary, right? And sometimes some people mess up. Now, for example, your last name is, Smith, right? Your daughter is, for example, Karen Smith. And then now your daughter is married to Brown, Karen Brown. And then when you filled out the form, you messed up with the social security number. A 7, you typed a 1. And then now she moved to Alabama. So basically when you die, the TSP3 information has a lot of different wrong information. Will your daughter still get the money if she's the beneficiary? Yes, she will, but she has to prove that, number one, she's a daughter, number two, all the different relationships, the name change, whatever. It's a little complicated. So if your beneficiary has some change in the information, file a new one. Your parent, whoever's name on the form. Your parents is deceased. Statutory order of residence, because your TSP3 is invalid because the beneficiary passed away. Yeah. So then, statutory order of residence, your spouse will still get the money. Okay, let's finish with the slide and then we go to questions. So number 17. All right. So anybody can send 17, and when we receive 17 and the death certificate, we'll start the ball rolling and look at the systems and see what we need to do. All right, spouse. If the spouse is the beneficiary, the spouse will receive a TSP account. We call that beneficiary participant account, BPA. It works just like a retirement account. It has all the withdrawal options. So the spouse can have a lot of choices, right? Keep the money there, let it continue to grow, do instant transfer, and then, or take out the whole lump sum, pay tax on the taxable amount, or transfer that to IRA, right? Okay, so when the money comes into the BPA account, everything will go to the life cycle fund based on the age of the spouse, not the age of the deceased participant. All right. So basically, it has the same investment option, same expense ratio, and then same interfund transfer rule. All right. And then the spouse may designate a TSP3, so that, say, for example, if I inherit all the money from my husband, I put in a TSP3 using my son as the beneficiary, that when I die, the money will go to my son. My son has to cash it out. They cannot transfer that money. When money is coming out as a death claim from a BPA account, it has to cash out and pay tax. It cannot be transferred to inherited IRA. All right, the money from the BPA. So the death benefit payment from a BPA, a single payment to the beneficiary of that account, of the BPA account. All right, so cannot be transferred or roll over to an IRA. We just talked about that. There is required minimum distribution. Say, for example, if I want to keep the money in that BPA, then it will be subject to required minimum distribution. The starting date will be based on the age of the deceased person, and the dollar amount will be based on the age of the survivor. Okay? Now, when somebody inherits money from a TSP participant, the spouse can choose to keep the money in the BPA, then that will be a separate financial asset. Say, for example, my husband is still alive, okay? I'm just using that as an example. If my husband passed away when I inherit his money, number one option, I can keep that BPA alone, and then I can do all the options that, I just talked about, right? So what is the benefit of that? Separate financial asset is not subject to spouse right. So if I marry to my 10.0, let's say, for example, he has no say when I want to take money out from my BPA. I don't have to ask him to have the notarized signature because that is a separate financial asset. All right. I also have the option to move that into my TSP civilian account. But if I do that, it's subject to spouse right because the gaining accounts rule will apply. Then I will have to get 10.0's signature if I want to get my 1.0's money. Okay. All right. And then I can also move it out to IRA, and then IRA will apply. So basically, for doing all this kind of movement, there are a couple of things that you want to consider. Number one, spouse right. How would that apply? Right? Will I be locked into a situation that I will have to get permission to use that money? That is number one. 2, is there any early withdrawal penalty? If I keep that in the BPA, there is no early withdrawal penalty. I can take the money out anytime. But if I move that to my TSP, there is no penalty after age 59 and a half, or I have to retire at 55, right? Otherwise, no, it's not a fine. And then spouse right. BPA, no spouse right. If I move to TSP, yes, there is spouse right. Required minimum distribution, we talk about how it works for BPA. And then if I put that into my account, then we already learned how does that work, right? RMD, we talk about that. So if I move that to IRA, then there is no spouse right. And then the good part is the death benefit is transferable. My beneficiary can transfer that to the inheritance IRA if he wants to. Doesn't have to take it out. And then if I move the money to Roth IRA, there's no RMD requirement. But if I move that to traditional IRA, there is RMD requirement. All right? Non-spouse, if, for example, your children are non-spouse, it doesn't have to be children. If they receive your money, there is no BPA account. They have 2 options. Number 1, cash out everything, pay tax on the taxable amount. Number 2, open the inheritance IRA and then move the money there directly or indirectly. The direct transfer is better, not the taxable event. All right? So, inheritance IRA, there is RMD requirement based on the age of the person. So if a 25-year-old inherit 100,000 and move that to the inheritance IRA, then every year he has to take around 1,000 something, and then the rest of the money will continue to grow in that account. Wow, imagine if that is your Roth money. Quite powerful, right? Another 40, 50 years of tax-free. Okay, so if you go to the TSP website, we have the YouTube icon, click that, and you can actually watch a lot of 3 to 4 minutes clips to refresh your memory. I know staying here for 4 hours and listen to all the information is pretty overwhelming, right? So when you have time, go back and refresh your memory. If you want to download the forms that you can do, books and application, keep yourself updated, all right? And then review your account. How many of you do not have a password logged into your account? Oh, you don't? In the past, you have to wait for 2 weeks for them to get out. Don't worry, you don't have to do it now. Now, okay. The quickest way to get service is not call me. If you call me, you cannot find me because I'm traveling every other week. So I'm either teaching or speaking or flying, okay, or driving. So call the 3 line. This is your best resource. They are very well trained. Call the number, and if, of course, if you have a lot of time, press 1, listen for 5 minutes. If you have more time, press 2, listen for another 5 minutes. But if you don't have that time, please press 3, okay? Talk to a live person. Within a few seconds, somebody will pick up the phone, then you can get service, okay? If you do not have your password, tell them that you do not have your password. They will ask you a couple of questions to verify your identity, and they can give you a temporary password on the phone. You can reset it. So it's quick service. All right, we have a Facebook now, finally. So, like us, then you can get all the quick updates and YouTube, Twitter account, and then publication, right? Make a good habit to go in, especially after your retirement. Update all the tax notice. So this is the survey for this training. So if you have a cell phone, take a picture or write it down. I would appreciate if you go in and put in your honest opinion about today's training. Okay? All right? So thank you for your time, and I appreciate everyone.